So just by way of overview, over the next hour, I'm going to start with the possible offences arising when there's a workplace death. You may be thinking that's somewhat to put the cart before the horse, but what I'm hoping to do in taking the issues in that order is to make what follows in relation to how you might advise a client a bit clearer. We'll then look at what happens in the immediate aftermath of a workplace death, accident, who, how, and when the investigation takes place, prosecutions, and finally, if we've got time, look at some of the relevant sentencing issues at the end. Just looking at the prosecution charging decision, firstly, timescales. As I said earlier, it's rare indeed for a workplace death prosecution to get off the ground less than 4 years after an accident. It's also right, as I'm sure we're all aware, that there are really quite extensive delays in the criminal justice system at the moment, and that again is pushing trials back further and further. There is also the issue we touched on with the coroners, where further delay is baked into the system, as it were, if there's a handover from the police to the HSE or the local authority. The bottom bullet point here, I've referred to Operational Circular 130-8. Again, that's available on the Health and Safety Executive website. And it sets out the circumstances where the HSE will consider it appropriate for an individual to be charged. Just so you're aware, the HSE's real direction of travel will always be to prosecute the employer rather than the individuals. That's the way the Health and Safety at Work Act is drafted, with sections 2 and 3 at the very beginning. And they require the training and supervision of the employees. So although individuals can and are charged, it's rare, and some progress can be made when defending by reminding the police, if they retain the investigation, of that guidance.